Welcome back to Visual 3D Basics, and in this unit, our focus is going to be on creating your first pipeline. If you already have some experience with pipelines already, you should still go through this unit as we're going to give you some tips and tricks and best practices in order to make your pipeline design the best possible. If, however, this really is the first time you work with pipelines, do not be afraid. This tutorial will take you from zero to actually creating your very first pipeline to automate your entire data processing in Visual 3D. Although it may appear this way at a first glance, making a pipeline isn't so much like programming. More accurately, it is scripting, which means it's kind of like programming, but made quite a bit simpler. So even if you have no programming background, you can use Visual 3D pipelines to create an automation of everything you need to do to process your motion capture data and obtain biomechanically valid results. Just to be clear what a pipeline really is, we want to give you a general overview before we actually get into how to do it. If you think through everything we have done in the previous units and put them in sort of a box. So let's say this is our box. And we know within here, we are going to accomplish several things. For example, our first thing, and we are breaking it down like this for a reason. So our very first thing is we're going to put in another box. This will be a series of commands that is going to allow us to load our files. Once our files are loaded, then we want to create another box that would be for our biomechanical model. Once that model has been applied, we're going to perform our calculations. And finally, we're going to report our data so that we can give it to somebody else. But every step of this is going to be completely automated. We want to click as few times as possible to perform all this. Our motto is sort of be as lazy as possible, but that means that we have to do the work now so that later on, for every single patient or subject, we have to do as little work as possible. So our goal is to reduce the number of clicks as much as we can. Essentially, if there's something that we would do in Visual 3D, wherever we might go click to do something, there is almost for sure a pipeline command that will allow us to do that in an automated way. So in the next chapters of this unit, we're going to give you an example of how to automate a fairly simple data analysis, but it will be a good first exposure to get you started with pipelines.